Welcome to another episode of the Keep It or CHANGECARS podcast series. One familiar face in studio today and one new face. Guest first. We'll be back to you in a second. Adam, Jacques Welgemoed from Citton Cars. Welcome. Lovely to have you here. For our audience, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi guys, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. I was excited, stressed, but excited as well.
Nothing to be stressed about. He's very easygoing.
No, definitely.
Easygoing.
No. I heard. Yeah, 10 years in the motor trade with Citton Cars.
Yeah.
Buying, selling, finance, everything. So, jack of all trades.
Fantastic. And I'm going to be so personal as to ask you your age.
My age, I'm 27.
27. Adam, 36 years in the trade, so you can teach us a thing or two.
My kids are older than him. But
Same age.
We must say that it's not a Citron cars, hey? It's Citton.
Citron.
Citton.
Citton.
Cars.
Ah,
Citton.
very,
Where
very
does
nice.
the Citton come from?
It's
Because
a Greek surname.
It's a
Citton.
Greek surname.
Yeah, Citton.
Okay, Citton.
That's it.
That's
So I
okay.
wanted to chat to you a little bit about Citton Cars, superb brand, the owner, Albie Citton, an incredibly approachable guy, takes service to the nth degree. What is it like working for such an incredible brand?
Where can I start? It's like a family, to be honest.
That's the impression I get.
The amount of sales guys we have that come and go always. I mean, sales guys, they come and go always. They always come back. Feels like
Really?
family. From big corporate companies, they come back to us because we feel like a family. It's just a personal way of doing business with our clients as well.
Yeah, Mike, he's not exactly going to sit here and say, yeah, it's a real cuck job. Eh? I can't stand it. My boss is horrible. The cars we sell are rubbish and everything.
Lovely company to Albie and team. Carry on. And now
you.
we're going to need your advice.
Yes, let's go.
First question today comes from Marcus. He's from Pretoria, your part of the world.
That's it.
He's just turned 45. He's got a budget of around 850,000 Rand or 20,000 Rand per month. He does say he's not fixed on that, wants to know best bang for his buck, new or second hand, and if it's second hand, low mileage, under 30,000 Ks. Starting with a guest.
Okay, I would say there's a lot of things that people say about Toyota regarding theft and things like that, but I would say the Toyota Hilux definitely. With the mileage, with the value you get.
If he wants a bucky, yeah.
Yeah,
So
if you
he
want
said
to
he's
bucket.
open to an SUV, open to a sedan,
Yes.
open to a bakkie.
Of course.
And then when he says a bakkie, I don't think he's meaning a single cab or king
No,
cab.
never.
Yeah.
It'll be double cab, top of the range.
Now,
Legend, yeah.
Now, it's interesting, and not to disagree with you, but I'm on record on every forum. I detest double cabs. If you ask me for advice in any price category, I'm not saying it's a bad choice.
Yes.
I'm just saying, me personally, double cab would come fourth out of three options.
I'm with you. I'm not a bucky guy either.
Yeah. What is it for you about double cabs that you don't like? Everything.
One, the price, they're overrated. They're bloody expensive for what they are, but we spend the money on them. They're cool. In terms of, everybody wants a bucky. They're useful. But whenever I drive a bucky, I find them bouncy on the road, uncomfortable. Where if I want to put something in the back, I'm afraid somebody will steal it off the back. But I don't drive buckies.
Yeah.
But millions of my buddies, I shouldn't say millions. My buddy drives a
Your top
a double
500
cab.
friends all drive
they all
buckies.
drive. But it's a great choice if you got 800K and you want to buy a bucky. I mean, that Hilux is superb.
And you can get it new as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely super.
And it's interesting you say that because for that kind of budget, you can go and buy a really lot of good new cars, and you can buy, Mercedes Benz, you can buy BMW, you could buy Mike's favorite, the Volvo, and lots of big Audi fan, Mike. So there's a lot of cars that you can buy in that sort of segment.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
you've gone for the bucky.
I'm going with you on a Toyota, but I'm going with the Prado. Not the Fortuner. I like the Fortuner, but I think the Prado 2.8 GL, the VX, right? Not the
Yeah,
GL.
VX, yeah.
The VX. What
That's
will
respect.
one with 40,000 Ks, 2020, 2021 come in at? 850, you'll
Yeah,
get
definitely, yeah. You're in line, definitely with the price range.
and
100%.
that is a superb car.
Yes.
You're always going to have the perceived theft risk of a Toyota, but you'd have to believe that a Prado will be less of a risk than a Fortuner or a Hilux. Anything else you'd throw in there, Adam? You spoke about Volvo. You've got to go Volvo in there.
Look, if you want something like safety, I mean, if you look at something like a Volvo XC60, very underrated car, superb car to drive. It's modern and it's superbly safe. There's no risk in terms of theft, things along those lines.
The other option that I had for him was the Jaguar F-Type. Not F-Type, which is the
XF.
the
F-Pace.
F-Pace
F-Pace, SUV, yeah.
SUV. What do you think of that car?
It needs to be in plan, obviously.
Of course.
It's not the most reliable vehicle. Let's not be.
But isn't that with every sort of expensive car you want to buy it on plan?
No, 100%. It's very good looking. It's Okay, in maintenance plan, obviously, yes. But then I'd rather go for the e-pace. You can save a bit more money. It looks the same, more or less. You get the same drive.
And a beautiful dimension.
And
That
it's beautiful.
e-pace is incredible.
I
I'll
can't
go for
even
the
tell the
E-pace
difference in the
rather.
two. I think what they did was they took an F-pace, put it in the microwave and shrunk it.
Could be.
That's
Yeah,
literally
could be.
what they did.
How important for you would it be to say, got to buy a car that's got a maintenance plan?
To me, it's critical. 100% it's critical. These days where all these dealerships that sell like the secondary warranties to the clients and things obviously makes business the more difficult.
Save that. That's our next question.
Okay.
As in, literally, that is our next question.
Want SA's leading insurance? Visit changecars.co.za and click on the Discovery logo.
Now, for me, I think this is the best question, and I'm going to read it verbatim. Sarah Lynn is a mother of 3 and says she has the best husband in town and wants us to share that with the world. Shout out to Sarah Lynn's husband.
Is that my wife? She writing in again?
Ex-girlfriend.
What her husband doesn't have, though, is a motoring knowledge. Call a spade a spade. Maybe he's a chef or into gardening, etc. In this regard, she would value our opinion on aftermarket guarantees and service plans. That's why I say save it for the second question. Are they worth it or just another product that is not worth the paper they're written on? And I have very strong opinions on this. You're in a trade. You're dealing with this every day. There's always a balance. I'm a dealer. I need to protect the customer. I also need to protect our dealership.
100%.
I want to give you peace of mind. But peace of mind is, I'll use the word perception. What is your feeling on aftermarket warranties?
My feeling on is, you guys said it earlier, like if you buy an Audi, for example, for BMW, for example, you can extend the warranty for not too much money. Paying 13,000 for an aftermarket warranty covering turbo, not electrical, also not wear and tear, gearbox, engine, it just doesn't pay. To me, that it just doesn't pay. You'll have to pay about 30,000 for a top-up maintenance plan or top-up warranty on a pre-owned vehicle to be fully covered and to have peace of mind. And then obviously service it with RMI always.
I think the problem with most of these aftermarket warranties is that the dealer is selling that warranty so that when you have a problem, you go back to the dealer and say to the dealer, can you fix it
claim
for
on your
me?
warranty.
Oh, no, I got a claim on your warranty. But it shouldn't happen that way because,
Never.
as you know, the dealer must give a 6 months warranty on that
course.
vehicle.
Of course.
And you mustn't claim on that warranty. The dealer must repair it for you.
The warranty that you purchase, in my opinion, exactly what you're saying, should kick in after the warranty.
The 6 months.
The 6 months warranty.
Correct. But now, getting back to the value of it, Toyota. You can buy any Toyota that's 5 years or newer. You can extend that warranty for a minimum of 2 years, up to 8 years. What kilos will they give you? Do you know?
Unlimited.
Unlimited kilos.
Oh, well, that's just the brand
It's a brand
standard.
product.
behind it.
Absolutely. But that for me is a peace of mind. Mr. Buyer, you come in, you're buying a 2020 Toyota. It can be a Yaris, it can be a Corolla, it can be a Fortuner or Hilux. Take that warranty. The beautiful thing is you won't even use it. On a Toyota, you're unlikely to use it.
Yeah.
But how's that peace of mind? Kia, Hyundai, also exceptional warranties.
But now you were mentioning earlier that you sell a lot of your cars in warranty.
Yes, 100%.
Now, Citton cars, obviously, that's the way to go because you don't want to buy a car without a warranty and it's peace of mind for you to sell.
So for Sarah Lynn, one of the keys is make sure you buy from a top reputable garage. And when you buy a car that hasn't got a warranty, buy a reputable warranty. Something like the AA warranty. Are you working with the AA? Is there any company you'd care to mention on air, or would you prefer not to mention names?
We
Just the
work
top
with
five.
Mysure,
Yeah.
we work with Motorvantage.
Yeah.
Very good warranties, but like I said, it's always the top of the top up cover. Always take the most expensive one to keep
'cause
yourself covered.
You know, it's that old story, you pay your monies and you get what you get. Isn't
Exactly.
It? The one thing, I have a workshop and I get a lot of people coming to me with, I get a phone call, I got recommended to you by so-and-so because you fix cars that are under the warranty. Yes, but bring it
But
in.
you
let's
pay
have a
up
look.
front.
No, but the biggest problem is that people don't understand because the salesmen go along and say, look, here's this car. I'll sell you this car and I'll sell you a warranty with it. It's guaranteed. Everything's covered for the next 2 years. And the next 2 years or 50,000 K. So people think, oh, cool, everything's covered. Then when things break, it's like, hang on a sec. No, that's a normal fair wear and tear item. Is not covered.
Exactly.
It's not lubricated by oil. It's not covered. This is when did you last have the car serviced? Because if you read the small print, it says have the car serviced within a month of purchasing the vehicle. If you don't do that and it's not serviced in the RMI, no, my buddy serviced it for me at the home in his garage.
Voided.
So you've spent, let's say, 15,000 Rand on a warranty, and it's absolutely voided the first time that your mate services at home. You need to go to an approved workshop. You got to have it serviced when the manufacturer
But it's
recommends
voided
it.
with justification. I honestly do believe that. You can't say, but he's qualified and he knows this and he's got 22 years. You don't service it at an RMI center or an agent.
Or the agents, 100%.
Do you agree that that warranty should be voided?
Well, it's RTFM, isn't it? Read the flippin'
print.
manual. Yeah. So you got to understand exactly. And this is the problem, is that the salesmen don't explain these things to them. Look, this is what's covered, because all these warranties have a little sheet there that says engine covered. You're on plan A. So that's unlimited mileage.
And you want to be on plan B, C,
plan
D,
B,
So
or
you're
E.
on plan
changes,
C, actually, because you're buying a 15-year-old car. It only covers 20,000 Rand on the engine.
Exactly.
But that's catastrophic failure. It's not like, well, my car's using oil. There's nothing wrong with it. It's using oil. Put oil in it. We don't cover that. Oh, the gearbox are the clutches covered? Oh, my clutch is slipping. No, that's not covered because that's normal wear and tear. If the clutch breaks,
Different
then
story.
we'll cover it. And it's so frustrating for us workshops, because you phone these places and say, okay, I want to make a claim. The guy's wheel bearings are gone. Okay, can you please send us a report on what's wrong with the wheel bearings? The wheel bearings have failed. They're noisy and they need replacement. Why did they fail? I don't know. What am I, psychic?
Exactly.
I must tell you how they failed. I have no clue why they failed. They have broken, they've worn out. Maybe the guy had a pothole. Oh, you mean so he had an accident? So he must claim from his insurance. So
Crazy.
a lot of the times these warranties are
The
garbage.
answer is no. What is your question is my saying with warranty companies. Literally. The answer is no. What is your question? But talking about something slightly different, we get regular people writing in, asking. They want to buy a service plan or a maintenance plan. They can buy a service plan for 250 Rand a month. Do I think it's worth it? It's a very obvious answer. No, no, no. A car's going to cost you roughly let's say look at a Toyota Corolla, 8,000 Rand a year to service, if you do one service. Is that fair to say, Adam?
Maybe a bit excessive, but I would say if you're looking at, let's say the average driver does 20,000 Ks a year.
That's
means
two
you-
services.
Basically, every 15 is sort of average
Oh, yeah?
on cars.
Correct.
So basically, you servicing your car once every, say, 8 to 9 months, roughly. So,
What's it going to cost you to service that car?
It'll range from anything from, say, 2 to 3.5 to 4,000 Rand at a reasonable, not the cheap ass place that's putting garbage
So
in your
let's
car.
say 4,000 Rand. 1.5 services is 6,000 Rand. If your service plan or maintenance plan was less than 500 Rand a month, that company's not even breaking even.
Wasting time.
100%. So for 150 Rand a month, 1,800 Rand a year, what kind of service plan are you going to get?
Garbage. Absolute
Absolute
nonsense.
garbage.
Don't waste your money.
Consensus. Don't do it.
Looking to buy a new or used car? Visit changecars.co.za.
Our next question is from Ernest, who's based in Port Elizabeth, and he said he's confused. That's why he wrote it. He said, I'm confused. He's got 3 parts to his question. He wants to know, modern cars, do they still rust? So he's based in Port Elizabeth. And again, I don't think it's a simple yes or no answer. Your opinion, modern cars, do they still rust?
My opinion, yes, 100%. They still do. I also think it depends on how you detail the vehicle at the coast. Obviously, it has that, I don't know what you call it in English.
Salty.
Yeah, that
It's
salty
just
type of
in the air.
corrosion.
It's just corrosion that's on the
Yeah.
vehicle. You have to maintain the corrosion. You get people that does treatments on chassis, on the bodywork to prevent the corrosion as well. So yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yourself, Adam?
Look, I think there's a massive improvement. If we look at cars like in the 80s, lots of cars, they just rusted
A
to
car was
pieces.
guaranteed to rust. There was nothing you could do. You could prep it, you could clean it. It was guaranteed to rust. It was
What's so great living in Johannesburg in the Highveld here is that we do not have rust. If people are watching this on YouTube
Correct.
and you're in Canada or whatever,
Yeah.
our cars don't rust. Stuff you. We get nothing. Zero. You stone chips all over the bonnets. They don't even rust. When you open the engine, they still look nice and clean. The aluminium hasn't oxidized. It's phenomenal. But go down to the coasts and they get rotten.
So for Ernest, from our side, there's no question, in the wrong environment, and the car's not going to rust in 3 months or 6 months or 9 months.
It's a slow
But over
cancer,
time,
yes.
you take a car that spent 3 years in Durban, Port Elizabeth, East London, Cape Town, versus the same car in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Nelspruit, or Bloem. Guarantee you there'll be a difference. And funny enough, the difference is not where you always see it. It's underneath. It's on the suspension. It's on the wheel bolts.
On the chassis,
But
everything.
how do you, if you live in these parts of the world, how do you circumvent that? It's very easy. With the right care, you will stop that car rusting.
100%.
And what is the right care for you?
So look, obviously, I mean, I don't deal in rust treatment because I live in the Highveld. I don't have to worry. It's cool.
We
But
don't have the scenic beauty
Yeah.
here, but we don't have the challenges.
down at the coast, obviously, there's lots of companies. You remember, it was a company I remember years ago called Waxall, and they used
Yes.
to put wax inside their chassis and stuff like that to stop it rusting. You've got to go and you've got to do preventative measures, like you mentioned quite correctly. You've got to do those preventative measures. You've got to detail the cars properly. You know, you got to wash. If you're going down to the sea. At the coast, and you're getting a lot of seawater and onto your vehicle. When you go home, wash it with fresh water, get it off.
Exactly.
I'll tell you an interesting story. A friend of mine, his father lives down in Mtanzini, down on the coast, and he had a Hilux Bucky, and he moved from his farm and he went to live inland. And my friend bought his dad's Hilux from him, brings it to me for a service. The car was only about 7, 8 years old.
Certain parts you probably couldn't even open the bolt.
The chassis was so badly rusted that I thought when it was on our lift, it was going to break in half. It is unbelievably, it was fraught is the only word you could use.
Scared to lift it up on the lift, actually.
Yeah, it was fraught, rotten, holes everywhere, like you can't believe. So a lot of cars still very, very bad if you don't look after them. He was actually very disappointed because the vehicle had been fully serviced at Toyota and nobody said, "Oh, sir, your car's rotting.
That
You need
car
to fix
needs
it."
to be steam clean. When I say steam clean, not physically steam clean, just a hose
Yeah.
underneath every single crevice.
Yeah,
a
100%.
crevice is a recipe for rust.
But it's interesting, you say, do cars rust? Yes, they do. And it's great, though, that most manufacturers do take preventative measures. If you go to the factories here and you see the processes involved in protecting the bodies of vehicles nowadays, where they actually dip the car. It actually gets turned completely
Correct.
upside down and it goes through, and there's proper preparation of it, so it shouldn't rust like it used to. But it still does. And
Of course.
in saying that, you still got to take care. And quite rightly what you say, wash the vehicles if you're going
As
to.
often as you can, literally once a
Exactly.
week. So now, I don't take it that you're a biased individual, but this second part of this question was designed for you. He wants to know, when you're selling your car, buying a new car, is it better to sell it the proverbial out of hand, which refers to a private sale, or to trade it in? For me, yeah, again, I'll answer after you. I've got a very, very clear-cut answer, not even a debate. I know you're biased. Obviously, you're in the trade. What do you say?
To me, I think if you have like a classic car or like a real golden oldie vehicle, like let's say a Champ Bucky or something like that, I would say sell it out of hand. Someone will buy it.
Clever.
In modern day age, I would say no. Reputable dealership. You have to sell to a reputable dealer. You have to. There's so many scams.
Yeah.
There's so many businesses buying vehicles and just like disappearing. There's people, actually a story in the week. So it's a wholesaler. He was in Pretoria. He had a dealership and he went down to the coast and he started buying vehicles for certain dealerships, like big dealerships like us and Spitzer, for example, whatever. And what he did was he literally got like duplicate fake notices to show that the car is paid up, it's dealer stock under his name, but the car still has finance on. Yeah.
So blatantly going out.
Just be very
And
careful.
I mean, it's an interesting thing because I've also heard of stories where somebody takes their car along and trades it in at a dealer for another car. And if you're going to a dealer that's not reputable, they say, "Don't worry, we'll settle your finance for you." Everything.
Request the notice.
Yeah, they get
everything.
settled.
Then what they do is they don't settle it and they try and sell the car before they have to. Maybe you got 100 grand outstanding on the car. This car will sell quickly, but then it doesn't sell quickly. And before you know it, the
Installments are
bank's
going
phoning you and
off.
saying, "Hey, you still owe
But
us
I
money."
sold it.
No, but I
I sold
sold
it,
it.
yeah.
And then it becomes an absolute nightmare. How do you check if the vehicle is paid for? So I'm buying a car from Joe Bloggs. He tells me it's all paid for. Don't worry, here are the papers. How do I know as a man in the street that the vehicle is actually paid for?
For me, the easiest will be e-notice check.
How does one do an e-notice check? Can I do it online?
No,
Is
so you
there
have to go
cost
to the
involved?
department, to the licensing department, yeah.
Through the license department.
yes.
What about, there used to be companies that you could pay a small fee for, and they would say to you, "Okay, the car's had 4 owners."
Like what used to be called an HPI check.
That's right,
HPI
yeah.
Check, but it's not that accurate anymore.
100%.
It's not updated. It's through TransUnion. Yes, correct.
So is there sort of a simple online way to do that?
No, unfortunately
Not anymore. That's
not like
unfortunate.
America. America can check everything.
But now, in terms of Ernest's question, I said straight away, I've got a definitive opinion. And it's not because it suits me because I'm in the trade. Deal with the right dealer, you're going to get a fair price.
How do you know the right dealer, though?
Citton cars.
I'm with you. I mean,
change cars. Where have you been? This is your 7th time on the show.
it's
I'll give
average man in the street. How do you find a good dealer?
I'll give you a simple example. My car, we're just using round figures, is worth 200,000 Rand. If I spend 2 weeks, I assure you, I'll get 210,000 Rand for it.
100%.
The question I ask is it worth it? Dealer A, dealer B, dealer C, all quality dealers offer me around the 200,000 mark. I want the right car from the dealer, 450,000 Rand. I go in, I say, here's our car. We agreed on 200,000. I owe you 250. It's on an invoice, swap keys. Remember, the trust is there. You know, it's a quality dealer.
Done.
Okay. For the extra 5,000 or 10,000, and there are some good buying facilities in South Africa. For me, I just say it's complicated. But selling the car to a private individual, placing your car on Marketplace, on Gumtree, on Facebook, don't do it. 1 out of 20 times, you might get lucky. You might get that absolute win.
Yeah.
But you raised an interesting point, and I love that. If it's an absolute classic, what is a classic worth? How do you determine the value of a classic? It's very easy. What is a classic worth?
Sure. Endless.
It's what somebody is prepared to pay for it. Okay. Your beautiful Alpha GTV that's worth R1 million today, and there are a good few of them around. Some guys say, you know what, you're crazy. I wouldn't pay R1 million for it. Another guy will say, when that car comes into the market, I don't care what it is, R1 million, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, I want it. Now, that's why you said you won't get that price from a dealer.
No.
But it's a rare exception. So Ernest has still got one more part to his question. He wants to know, in order, how would we rate Toyota, Kia, and Honda? Just 1, 2, 3. Who's paid us the most? What was the incentive from the boys? Hey, what?
For me,
Toyota,
I
Kia,
would
Honda.
go Honda, Toyota, Kia.
Honda, Toyota,
Toyota,
Kia.
Kia.
Interesting.
Toyota, Honda, Kia.
All good.
I have too much to lose by opinion on this.
But
You're both right.
yeah, the thing, maybe I should change it and say Toyota, Honda, Kia, because the range that Toyota's got now is so much better than Honda. I don't know what's happened to Honda in the last 5 years. They've sort of, I think they've made a couple of mistakes in terms of what they bring out here. But if we go back on the history on Honda, I'm a big Honda fan. Of
course.
They make really good cars, but recently they've been
So
bringing
reliable.
out stuff that are a bit, a bit too expensive.
Yeah.
And some of them have got the wrong engines in them.
So for me, it was interesting. I would have expected it to be, how would you rate Renault, Fiat, Alfa, Kia? You know that. You've taken 3 top brands. I mean, that would be easy.
Yeah.
But Kia, Toyota, and Honda. Honestly, Toyota, literally 10 out of 10. I give it 10 out of 10. Honda, I give it 10 out of 10. And Kia, I give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I'm not sitting on the fence. I rate them all equal. I'm not like these guys who have an opinion on everything.
Yeah, look, it's not an easy one because they're all exceptionally good
No,
cars.
definitely.
And if you're a Honda fan and you find a Honda you like, you'll be exceptionally happy with it. And that applies to Kia and Toyota. You can throw in Hyundai because, Hyundai comes out the right door and Kia comes out the left door. It just depends on the
Absolutely.
styling you prefer.
I'm going to be in the dog box after this. My wife drives a Kia.
A Kia,
I ranked it third.
yeah, no, but Kia's a superb.
And there she
car.
was, so proud of you on your first podcast.
Exactly.
And you actually
Talking
stuffed
down
it
on
up.
her car.
Need advice? Visit changecars.co.za and click on the Keep It or Change Cars tab.
Not often on the show that you get a question that you know the client has given you a fake name, but she told us that it's a fake name. She said, call me Patricia. She wants to surprise her absolute straight A student daughter who turns 18 in October with a superb car. She knows her budget is limited, and I'm actually going to tell her I don't think her budget is limited. 200,000 Rand. She wants something that a lady would feel proud of. Performance, while no means a factor, it must be decent performance. And then she wants our opinion on manual, automatic, and petrol or diesel. 200,000 Rand, first car for a young lady. Congratulations on your straight A student. She deserves it. What would you go with there?
Now it's a Kia Rio. You can get a fairly new shape. 2020, 2021 for 199.
Nice car.
100%. Still in agent warranty, everything. Low mileage. Definitely
That
Kia.
is a superb looking car. When I think of the Kia Rio, and then again, there's no right or wrong answer. But would you agree that 200,000 is a very nice budget?
Yes, 100%.
There's some good stuff around
Yes,
there.
100%.
Yeah. Yourself, Adam, what are you thinking?
The Kia Rio is a great option. I think another good car, very popular car at the moment, is a Suzuki Swift.
Yes.
Very, very nice. Although the Kia is most probably a nicer car to drive than the Swift, because the Swift only coming out in the 1.2, and the Kia you can get in the 1.4, a little bit more for maybe the interior is a bit nicer. But obviously the Kia is a lot more expensive, brand new. So your option is you can buy a brand new Suzuki Swift or a used Kia Rio. Both you're not going to go wrong with.
Sure.
It depends. I mean, it's her first car. If it was my daughter, she must probably get the brand new car. You know what I mean? There's something about a brand new car.
Often when I give advice, I love to give practical advice, i.e. I've been there, I've done it. 2 cars recently. My girlfriend, her kids are 20, or they're not kids anymore. Her young sons are turning 21 this year. It was a choice of a Ford Fiesta or a Toyota Yaris. Both of them properly blew me away.
Yeah.
When I say blew me away. And not even how they look. They look amazing. How they drive.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Ford Fiesta?
That last generation of Ford Fiesta was excellent. Really, it feels like a big car to drive.
That's exactly
Lots of
it.
Vuma. It's got all the technology that you can want in the car in terms of safety. The other car you mentioned was
Toyota Yaris.
the Toyota Yaris. The Toyota Yaris is not bad, but it's in terms of when you compare it to the Fiesta, is not comparable, I don't think. In terms of its looks, its drivability, its feel. Although in reliability, the Toyota Yaris will obviously be extremely good. But the Fiesta is a superb car.
So it's
More
interesting.
Vuma, better fuel consumption.
Yeah.
With the 1 liter turbo motor, everything. Yeah.
So Matthew and Thomas, which one did they take?
I would still stick with my Suzuki Swift because it's a simple
Out
car.
of the Fiesta.
I beg your
which one
pardon.
did they take?
Fiesta because of the tech.
100%. The tech and particularly the performance. 1 liter, it is stonking. Now, next question that she asked, manual or automatic? For me, it's not a no-brainer.
It has to be manual.
I agree, manual.
Has to be manual.
You are kidding me, right?
100%.
It's better for consumption as well.
Don't worry about the consumption. Don't worry about the gears. The thing is, kids must learn to drive a manual car from young. Once they've had their first car manual, they've learned how to drive a manual car. Later on in life, if you've got a driver's license that says automatic and you now want to go and rent a car, oh my gosh, I have to only rent an automatic car. Somebody wants to loan you a car, it's a manual. I don't know how to drive a manual. I can only drive an automatic.
One of the beautiful things
Drive,
about being the host of a show is you get the veto vote. So it's amazing how we said it's absolutely a no-brainer. And you said manual. And I promise you, for me, I detest manual cars with a passion.
Me too.
If
I
I
wouldn't
could
buy a manual
contribute
car now.
one thing to the future of the motor industry, you can bring oxygen, hydrogen, ICE engines, whatever you want. Just eliminate the manual gearbox. What possible benefit? Just tell me one possible benefit is ever a manual, because I haven't seen
Really
it.
made it a good point.
Driving skill. Learning how to drive.
You're 18 years old, you're in a situation, I don't want to say you panicked, God forbid somebody tries to hijack you. You pull off in a manual, you're going to stall it. Hold on a second, I'm just going to start it. And again, I'm going to try that again. I detest a manual. You're sitting in traffic. We have traffic. No matter where you are, you have traffic. I'm in my Honda Civic Type R, okay? I hate that car. Because it's manual. I promise you, because it's manual.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I wouldn't buy myself a manual car, but in this application, I would say, let the kids learn to drive a manual car. The next car they have, they can go buy the automatic. That's fine, but get to learn to drive the car. They'll understand how things work as well mechanically. It helps better to understanding how the gears work. And when you want to get an automatic car, move on, buy an automatic car.
So spend a couple of hours bonding with your kid, teach them how to drive around the park in the manual, and buy an auto. Petrol or diesel?
Yeah, I would say diesel. I'm a very big diesel fan. Like I said, Volvo especially, Volvo diesel, but diesel definitely.
You'd think we're big argumentative. I promise you, I'm auto petrol, you manual diesel.
Yeah.
I'm manual petrol because I would say in a small car, you want a petrol engine.
Yes.
In a bigger car, you're buying a Bucky, you're buying an
Diesel,
SUV.
no question.
You want a diesel because it's got the torque and the power and the fuel efficiency in there. But in a small car, you buy yourself a nice small petrol vehicle. Because the difference in the fuel consumption on these small engine cars,
Negligible.
you take like my favorite little car, the Suzuki Swift. You're going to get 5.5 liters per 100 if it was petrol. If you go and buy the competitor's diesel,
20,
you're going to get
5 liters.
5.5 liters.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. The problem with the diesel with the youngsters, you got a young girl now, and she's like, You know what they're like? On their cell phones. How's it, doll? What are we doing? Where are we going tonight? Excuse me, sir. Can you fill up my car, please? And then they're on the phone. Hello,
And what
how's
did you
it?
put in, by the way?
How much is it? 200 rand. Thank you, bye. And they drive off. They break down. Why? Because the petrol attendant's not paying attention and he puts petrol in your diesel car.
Adam, I'm super impressed. Your knowledge is superb and your accents are incredible. that was impressive. Okay, now for your accent.
That was too good, by the way. That was too good, by the way.
But what is interesting, we're talking about fuel consumption. I mean, we go back 20 years. Okay, so some people use liters per 100. I've always used kilometers per liter. It's just the way I grew up. What was and it's actually the same now, but what was the magic figure that you wanted to break in terms of kilometers to a liter?
No, it's the light. He doesn't know.
Hey? I'm not even looking at him.
It was 10 liters per 100.
Am I right? I promise you. That's what I said, but that's why I said it's the same. 10 liters per 100, 10 kilometers, identical.
Yeah.
But was that like the magic figure? If you were getting a car that was using 9.6 liters per 100, oh my word.
You won the total car of the year. What is the total economy run?
The total economy
They used to get
run.
it like 8 liters a 100 and that's all. That was winning.
Yeah.
It's crazy because nowadays you get exceptionally good fuel consumption and that's technology. That is how and technology has improved. I mean, you just mentioned that Fiesta 1 liter. So that pushes out, I think, if I remember correctly, about 110 kilowatts, somewhere in that region. Remember the Cortina 3 liter?
Same.
It was about 110 kilowatts then.
So the Cortina 3 liter, depending on which incarnation of it, but like in the original Cortinas, it was under 100 kilowatts, okay, and around 220 Newton meters in its final form, okay. That was the SX, eh? Well,
the SX.
That was the SX.
The final form was a 3.4 liter.
234 Newton meters of torque. You take a 1400 Polo, Audi, whatever it is today. I mean, they exceeding that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Turbocharged cars have changed the world.
Exactly.
So just to confirm for Patricia, what are we going with? What is the final vote that I need to override?
You need to, I would say in this case, Fiesta 1 liter turbo with a manual transmission.
100%. You stem cell?
Next name's on. Next name's on.
Gentlemen, been lovely having you here. As I said, always, Adam, a world of knowledge. Jacques, to you and the team at Citton Cars.
Thank you.
Exceptional product, exceptional brand. May you go from strength to strength.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Check out your website if I need a new car.
Please.
Is it on
please
Change
do.
Cars, by the way?
Of course.
Go to Change Cars and check out Citton
That's it.
Cars.
Why is it on Change Cars, Adam? Tell us.
Because only good dealers are on Change Cars.
Spot on. We've come to the end of another episode of the Keep It or Change Cars podcast. If you have a question you'd like us to answer, please email us podcast@changecars.co.za and our experts that we have in every week will answer it. This show is about you. You got a question? That's what we're here to answer. Visit changecars.co.za, see the quality dealerships we work with, looking for a new car, used car, boat, caravan, you name it, we've got it.
For South Africa's best motoring content, catch all things motoring on DSTV channel 189 and on YouTube. New episodes every week.